I don't want these people to drag us in the mud and the minutia of debating on whether something is right or wrong. It's wrong for them to be there with
In the
their
first place.
mandate. Their agency is not built to do it.
Yeah.
And they're using it because they can wear a mask, because they can operate in a way that normal cops don't. Or at least we don't know if they can't. Ignorance is weaponized against us. What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Friday episode of the show. My name is Adam Butler. That's Paul Spann.
Rockman Span in the building.
You tune into
MSR PA Virtual Edition.
It's gonna be the virtual edition for a little bit.
Just for a little bit.
Just for a little bit. Get used to it. Brother Smooth is in the building. Happy New Year, my brother.
Happy New Year, brothers. How y'all doing?
Smooth, what's
Man,
happening?
we good, man.
Good, man. It's
Good,
to see
man.
y'all.
We good as we can be. You know what I mean?
It's been a while since we the boys club been together.
For
It's
sure.
been a minute since the boys hooked up.
I
So
won't use any words that we can't use, but you know.
you know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, we got a no pause rule on the show, and so we gotta be careful here. Anyway, a lot to talk about today. Unfortunately, we got to talk about the latest goings on in Minneapolis with the shooting that involved ICE, an ICE agent. We're going to get into that in a moment in depth. Before that, though, appreciate everybody that already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed to the show, please do that. Please hit the notification bell. It helps the algorithm get us in your feed. Do all of that. If you're listening to us on podcast only, remember to rate and review the show. We're on all podcast platforms. All right. Follow us, MSR Tribe on Instagram, Mindstream Radio on Facebook, the MSR Pod on TikTok, and also if you feel like it, join our new Facebook group, the MSR Pod on Facebook. All right. Shouts out to everybody that's supported the show so far. We really appreciate you all. Thank you so much. A couple of quick show notes. You probably noticed that we're doing 2 shows now. I think we're going to keep this cadence up as much as we can. All right. Sometimes we'll be able to give you 2 shows a week. Sometimes we won't. But most of the time, we're going to be able to give you 2 shows of the week. So let us know what you think about that. Also, let us know what you think about the topics that we're discussing down in the comment section. That helps us out. We want to hear from you. It helps people, we want to engage with the audience because we're talking about things that the people care about. All right. All right. Without further ado, let's get to the news of the week. All right, man. This news is crazy and sad and disturbing and and complicated. All at the same time. I'm just gonna run you through it really quickly. On Wednesday, excuse me. Today is Thursday, we're recording on Wednesday. A young woman by the name of Renee Good was shot by an ICE agent in Minneapolis. There was a protest going on there. Her car was parked in the middle of the road. The agents were in unmarked cars. Okay. They were telling her to go. She started to go, stopped, and then was waving on what I'm assuming she thought were just cars. Maybe she realized they were unmarked cars. I don't know. No one will ever really know the answer to this. Agents got out of the car. One walked around the car with a camera, the shooter, okay? Walked around the car with a camera. It looked like he was being followed by one of the pedestrians or protesters, whatever you want to call them. But he had a camera and he ended up in front of the car. The other agent got out and walked towards the door. Okay. Sounds like he was telling her to get out of the car. Okay. In fact, I heard him say, get the fuck out of the car. All right. After her getting, being told to move. Okay. So I'm only painting the entire picture so you can see how there may have been some confusion. Okay. He goes, he touches the driver's seat, the driver's side door. Looks like he's about to open the door as she's starting to pull off. She pulls off. The officer that was in front of the truck ends up on the side of the truck, fires off 3 shots, killing this young woman. this woman. Okay.
Yeah.
There's a national uproar about this right now. And is a very significant moment. Uh I I would say of this administration, and certainly in recent history, is a very, very significant moment right now. The reaction of it, repercussions of it, the what it means, it's a lot. Okay,
Mhm.
so let me just ask straight, and forgive me, audience, for trying to gather my thoughts. I'm talking about this. This is obviously a developing story, and one we weren't obviously planning on talking about. P, I'll start with you.
Mhm.
What are your general thoughts of what happened yesterday, and just your general feelings on it right now?
My general thought is it's a horrible climate that we're in.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horrible the position that so many people have been placed in, right? Now,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you want everyone to be safe. You know what I'm saying? I don't want violence towards what people have made to be officers of the law. But there's also with this situation in particular, who knows? And this is just my free thought. Who knows the fear of that woman? Who knows even what we're talking about as far as with ICE and the things that are so tricky is because that there's so many things that are unmarked. Like when you see a police car, you know that it's a police car. They have lights on it. They have decals that say that they are reasoning, so you can work your mind around. Okay, I'm being either followed or I'm being detained. That's the cops right there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, with the way that ICE is being deployed, the way that somebody first off, there have been a million cases. There was just one the other day of fake ICE officers. There's been a bunch of
Right.
them, right? Right. There was also a case the other day of an ICE officer with the Nazi symbol on his neck that a man had called out, called him out for, and he was walking away from him. Again, not condoning violence upon anyone. But what I'm saying is the climate that we're in, it has everyone on nerve, both
Right.
citizens and obviously with the battery that are put into these agents back and that's been put into the country as far as both divisiveness, as far as charging up people that aren't even agents of law enforcement to think that they can approach anyone that they deem to look differently, that they deem has an accent that they're not sure of, that they deem has a color that they
Mm-hmm.
don't think is exemplary for whatever area that they're in, and they feel that they can just walk up to these people and ask people to produce papers. And these are things
Yeah.
that are literally happening. Like I'm not making
Yeah.
any of that stuff up. So
Yeah.
now we can get into the minutia of what was legal for the officer to do, what life threatening epithets were happening. But the thing is, what's been happening, like placing people in certain places, is one part of what caused this. The poor and like egregiously poor leadership that we have that emboldens people to both pick sides and to
Mm-hmm.
like over and over this president 45 47 continually talks about the radical left and talk and America period has been deeming people terrorists a long time. There's been, we can all go down the long line and lineage of just being called a terrorist, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So man, I'm afraid in certain veins. um I think that what happened the other day was completely wrong. Not that we haven't seen these things continually happen to people of color over and over, but I think, like I said, the climate that we're in now is kind of different because
Yeah.
these things are happening to all sorts of people and others. Not that
Yeah.
that makes it like they was like, oh, now it's happening to them that we should all pay attention. I don't mean it that way. I mean it in the vein of any and everybody can get it because of this climate, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if we were to deduce, and if I were to just to deduce what some things that I looked over as far as ICE agents are concerned, there is a thing where you aren't supposed to fire into moving vehicles. There's like a actual thing, and I know obviously unless you feel your life is threatened, but there is the thing there that you can step out of the path of a moving vehicle.
So Smooth, your experience as a first responder, um, what did you see from that? What's just your thoughts on that situation?
I first want to say, and I know this may sound cliche, but definitely, rest in peace to the lady who passed away,
Absolutely.
and condolences to her family, and condolences to the not
That
Minnesota, but
community.
yeah, that community.
Yeah.
They've been going through a lot. With them ramping up in December with a lot of like
Mhm.
detainees or detaining people,
Mhm.
and you know people have a job to do.
Mhm.
If we like it or not. And people have to take care of the families, and I think both sides want to go home at the end of the day. They want to be able to do their part, do their piece, be able to protest, be able to push back on the establishment, and they should be able to go home
Mhm.
the same way that law enforcement officers and first responders across the board, EMTs and firefighters, you know everybody wants to go home, and these situations are unfortunate. And a lot of times we tend to Monday morning
Quarterback.
quarterback.
Mhm.
So we can say what could have happened, what could not have happened. We don't know exactly what was said, but what I can say is when there's chaos going on, some people handle it better than others. People in power handle it better than others. People who are
Mhm.
not in power handle it better than others. And I think sometimes when just shit is happening, people's emotions sometimes can get involved, and it makes it very, very, very uh, combustible. Like it makes it a very indecisive. That's the correct word, right? Like that's funny,
Yeah, I
but
think so. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
How do you say Minneapolis? Yeah,
Yeah, I can't
oh,
say it, don't worry. Yeah,
right. Um,
Minneapolis. Yeah.
Minneapolis.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just makes it a very I think that sometimes the layperson doesn't necessarily understand what first responders have to do or what the
Mhm.
job is of someone who has to be on the front line in those emergency situations.
Mhm.
And I think sometimes us as people we tend to mystify what's supposed to be done, because I think a lot of times we see things in the media. Oh, we should have shot out the tires, or you should have shot him in the big toe. It's like these things aren't really reasonable, guys. And while I'm not justifying anyone shooting anyone, but I think we have to sometimes dial it back and see what a threat is and how a threat may be perceived to someone. And
Mhm.
I think that we all can say what was a threat to us, and it may be completely different from someone else.
Yeah.
Um, go ahead.
Yeah. No, so I do appreciate that. I think that it's not a but to this, honestly. The bigger issue for me, is that people are being put in these positions, right? Um, I don't like ICE. I don't love the idea of ICE at all. Especially the current iteration of ICE. Um, President Obama, as we mentioned, we talked about this in our private conversations, and people have said this a bunch of times that President Obama deported a lot of people.
Mhm.
Okay. But you never heard about things like this. And this goes back to my point. I made a video that said this earlier. I said it on the show a while back when another tragedy hit America. Okay. Is that our biggest issue is leadership. or lack thereof,
Right.
or someone that has decided to lead a small portion of the country and decide that and Paul mentioned this, decided that the rest of the country is an enemy.
Right.
Okay. So I don't know this ICE agent. His name is out there and I'm going to find it in a moment, but I don't know him. I don't know his soul. I don't know if he's a rampant KKK racist, or if he's just a guy doing a job. I'm not going to make an assumption on any of that. What I know and what I can see is that he wasn't prepared for the situation he was in, and neither was she. Okay, the situation, just from looking at it on camera, and most people that are watching this have seen the video. Okay, you can see the confusion. You can see it. You can see some officers or ICE agents being kind of calm, and you can see some of them walking up to people and talking to people like they were animals. In the aftermath, you can see there's a doctor there. There's a man who says he's a doctor. He says, I'm a physician. Can I go check her pulse?
Help this woman.
One of the ICE agents walks up to him and talk and hell no. And then the other dude comes up to him and goes, listen, we got people that'll come. Those are two conflicting. Now, if you want to be pro this, then you can look at the one calm ICE agent and go, no, but he was being calm. But I also look at the people that are yelling and screaming at the man, telling him to shut up, telling people to back up, talking to people like they all are criminals out of there, like they are they're guards on the prison yard. Okay. And you just assuming things. So what I am seeing and what I have learned and what I think I understand is that this agency has been empowered in a way that they haven't been empowered before. And they've been given a mandate by Stephen Miller and Donald Trump and Kristi Noem that they had not had before. And they're operating in a way that they had not operated before. ICE is a 23-year-old agency. Okay. That means it's been around most of my adult life, most of your adult life, and most of Paul's adult life. Okay.
Created because of 9/11, by the way.
Yes. We had an immigration agency. ICE kind of replaced. Yes, INS. Right. ICE kind of replaced it. And for 20 years, really, you never really heard ICE. All through the Obama and they've been used, they've been weaponized in different ways in the past. I'm not going to say that the Democrats used them in a, I don't know what it was like to be a immigrant, an illegal immigrant in 2009.
I think
Real quick. I don't know what it's like to be an immigrant in 2009 and have ICE agents come, kicking in your door. I'm sure it was horrifying. Okay. But what they weren't doing was patrolling the streets en masse. And they weren't being shipped to places with a warning. With a warning. I'm sending them to your town. And it's not surprising to me that some of these dudes are pumped up.
Can I say this real quick?
Because when you tell somebody real fast, we just finish the sentence. I got you, Pete. Because some of these people, it reminds me of something I heard about the war on drugs. Like if you start telling niggas it's a war, they're going to treat it like it's one. Okay. And you don't have cops anymore and investigators. You have soldiers. Okay. So right now what you have is soldiers walking the street, policing the streets, and the citizens are not citizens. Their motherfuckers is in the way. Go ahead, P.
Just per your point, like even the past that ICE was supposed to be specifically for noted illegal immigrants, specifically.
Right.
Like specifically. Now it's like it's if you're assumed or honestly, it can be any citizen. Like was this woman that got shot an illegal alien?
No, she's a white woman that was born in Colorado.
Okay. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Swoop.
I think that agency has been a little more clandestine in how they work. And so their methods maybe weren't as public that they didn't need to be. I mean, they're probably going after like high-level drug traffickers that were hiding in certain communities, stuff like that.
No,
so they've So they've always been maxed up. They've always been maxed up. Is the problem
Okay.
is now is that the lay person is starting to see this
Yeah.
in conjunction with the rhetoric that comes with it, and that's the scary piece, right?
Absolutely.
So I
Yeah.
think that the form and function of that agency has been how it's been. I think, like you said, it may be being weaponized in public now.
It's
Because
not May.
well,
It's
okay,
not May.
right.
It is. But please continue. I just want to make
Yeah.
that clear. Like
No,
sometimes you gotta
I
call a
agree.
thing a thing. Yeah.
No, and you're right. And I think I tend to not try to put my ideas into people's, minds. It just that's why I left it as lofty as I did.
I understand. I'm with you, and I think also again I think that's good information because right now I think the name of the game is having information, right? Because what's happening again, what happened on the street is horrible, but what happened on the street is a symptom of something bigger. Okay. Reportedly, there were 2 people shot in Portland, not dead, shot dead, but shot and injured in Portland by a federal officer. Okay. I'm going to get more information about that as we go on, but like we're seeing something happen here, right? We're seeing more violent arrests. We're seeing more violent situations with them because they're being used in the way. And you just made this point that they aren't supposed to be used. And you got to ask yourself why. Right. So when we focus on masks and stuff like that, which we should, a lot of people are wondering, why are you walking around my neighborhood with masks on? Well, you just gave a good explanation because this agency wears masks. But why would you ask the agency? So you got to ask yourself now that you know that. Smooth just told you that we just told you this agency's been around for 23 years. Smooth just told you that they always wore masks and they've always had aggressive tactics because they're used to dealing with very violent crime, legal immigrants that are most likely accused of high, very violent crimes.
Noted crimes.
Noted crimes. MS-13, people like that. We know this now. Okay. So the question goes beyond why do you have on a mask to why are you sending people that are known for being aggressive and known to handling things in a certain way? And you've also ballooned their agency by you tripled it in members and giving it more money to build more camps in detainment centers around the country. Why?
With less training, by
Is it because we got more immigrants? Or it's because you have less trained? Obviously, yeah. If you balloon something out, hey, if we add,
I think
real quick. Let me just make this point. I got you. Please talk right after I finish the sentence. But just to Paul's point about untrained, right? Whether the intention is to train them or not. If I add 8 new people to this podcast right now, me and Paul say, you know what? Starting tomorrow, we're going to have 8 new people on the podcast. They're going to naturally be less trained than you and Nargis and LT. Because they're new, but because it's a rush and it's a mandate, and and you know what? Not only am I going to add 6 new people to this podcast, I'm going to give each one of them, I'm going to entice them to come. I'm going to give each one of them a $5,000 bonus to come join. Because I need you. I'm going to run ads on YouTube saying I need people. I'm going to run ads on buses saying I need you to come. We need you. Christy Nome, in this case, Paul is on when you walk into the airport, he's on a little digital board going, please join Homeland Security. We'll give you please join the MSR pod. We'll give you $8,000 if you come right now. Yeah, that's showing that we're asking for people. We just need people. Okay. Right. And I ain't thinking about whether I'm getting the best of the best. Yeah, it was funny. I'm not thinking about whether I'm getting the best of the best. I'm thinking about whether I'm just getting bodies. Please go.
I think that's an assumption.
What do you mean?
I think there's already been an established process to vet certain people and to make sure that they are worthy to be able to do certain things. That process is a long time.
Cops completely well all the time, bro. I'm sorry,
bro.
I'm sorry.
I mean, but all jobs don't vet people always the best, right? I mean, someone can say that I'm incompetent, right? So I think that, and I work in the office, so I think that we have to stop saying that people aren't trained because, again, to the naked eye, we don't know what trained is.
Fair.
And I think sometimes there's. I think sometimes we have to take a step back And I'm not saying we have to justify anything, but we have to kind of understand that, like, someone doesn't necessarily know, can't eyeball with a dime pack, or you know what I mean, with a 3-5.
I understand. I understand that.
Yeah.
Understand. And so in order for us to not get caught up in the minutia of that,
Right.
'cause I understand where you're getting. Okay, I understand that people, protesters on the street, often don't understand what the officer is dealing with and what they're looking for, what they've been told to look for, what they've been trained to look for. I agree with that. Okay. When we talk about training, and let's take the word training out of it. Okay. It could be training, but let's just not deal with training. Let's talk about culture. Okay.
Okay.
Let's talk about the culture and the mandate. I think we know what the mandate is because Stephen Miller has told us the mandate. Stephen Miller, back when so what was this, about like August, July, I think, maybe I might be wrong, off about a month or two when this happened. Okay. And it was, we're going to put National Guard and we're going to put ICE agents on the streets of major cities, Washington, D.C., Chicago. They started in LA, right? He openly gave a mandate, and I will get the specific number, but it was like up in the amount of arrests by like thousands. Okay. They weren't meeting a mandate that he felt like they should meet, and he tripled it very publicly, very loudly. So we know what the mandate is, and we know the cities that are being targeted. And this is not an assumption. They are blue states. There are places with blue governors, blue mayors. Okay. So whether they're doing exactly what they're trained to do, and I can understand why ICE agent isn't necessarily trained in dealing with large public disruptions. I could get it. And maybe they are. Okay. Maybe they are. I saw confusion that day.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
maybe they are. But the mandate and the reason they're in the city is the problem.
I agree.
People are reacting. So even if, and Paul, I got you, even if they're there because of the mandate, if you were doing it in good faith, you would send them with another agency or another force, or maybe National Guard, to say, you know what, the National Guard are here to keep the peace while our ICE agents walk around and find, and you would communicate with the community and you would let the community know, and you would have the community feel
That's
safe.
the humanistic piece of it, and I agree. I don't think that they're trying to be humanistic about this at all. And to your point, that's the problem, right?
That's a terrible
create the
problem.
fear. Right. I think, let me be clear. We're all in agreement with that.
We agree with this.
We definitely agree with that. It's a lot. It's too much. It's too much. We can get to certain goals and have certain conversations without, like, people who have nothing to do with anything, and just all this mass hysteria. Like, it's just too much. And like you said, because we lack the leadership. And a lot of these, governors or mayors, their hands may be tied to what they can do, right? Because again, this is also still like a political thing.
It's
And
100%
so,
political.
huh?
It's 100% political.
Right. So, I mean, so like playing the long game, or, like, I just find it very interesting, this whole Tim Waltz thing after he ran against, oh boy, all this is happening right now. And so I don't know if that, I don't know if that's, it looks intentional. I'm not trained to do in the political world, so I can't call it, but I'm not a journalist.
I am. It is.
Right.
He said it.
Exactly.
So that brings us to a major piece of this. The leadership. Okay. So the shooting happens. First thing the president says on Truth Social is that this woman is a terrorist and she's been trained to use her car as a weapon. The first thing the director of Homeland Security, Kristen Noem, standing in front of soldiers and with a skirt on her podium that looks like military fatigue, with fatigue military gear on herself, says that this woman is a terrorist and they train them to use their cars as weapons.
No.
I can't stress enough. JD Vance comes out and says that not only, was the officer justified, they're immune to any punishment. So basically, they can do whatever they want.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. JD Vance said
definitely.
JD Vance said that.
That's
you earlier. You said that that everybody wants to make it home, right? And I think that's very, very much true. but only one side of that everyone has the guns and is emboldened to do whatever it is that they want to do. You see what I'm saying?
I think that's a force dynamic in general. I think that's anyone who has power or force that comes upon that conflict. I think it's going to happen. It doesn't matter if it's an employee, and employer. It doesn't matter if it's the police or someone else. It doesn't matter if it's the big bully and someone else. I think that there's maybe one person that walks away when there's conflict.
Right. Well,
I do think though that I don't think the situation is, officer friendly walking on the street, coming across something. This is something that's a lot more chaotic. So,
and that's my point.
I do think.
But my point is, you like yes, everyone wants to make it home, but that understand we're talking about citizens. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm just talking about the regular citizens of it. Understand, like Adam said, like we all alluded to, there was complete chaos in that specific situation on both sides, right? And I can, but understand at the end of the day, whether or not this woman is an actual domestic terrorist, the way that they want to paint her to be, because I don't wholeheartedly believe that, because we can go down a long. Martin Luther King was a terrorist, so we can go down a long line of what the government has ever deemed for people to be terrorists, right? From my eyes point, I saw a confused person trying to get up out of there. That's what I saw.
Right.
Now, mind you, obviously, I won't. Obviously, we don't want people just thinking that it's okay to take your vehicle and just blatantly run into ICE agents. I'm not saying that in the least bit. What I'm saying is this climate is much more dangerous for citizens than it is for ICE agents.
I don't believe that. I don't believe it at all. That's not true.
I don't think it matters.
It does matter. Honest with you? It does. And
hold on. Let me just say it. Let me say it. One group has a mandate to. No, actually, let me just say what I really feel.
Okay.
It doesn't matter because the leader of the country doesn't see it that way.
Right.
Well, okay. Yes. And so if we want to frame this, because to me, this isn't, and this isn't directed to either one of you. This isn't like for lack of a better term, like a normal police shooting. This is something different that we haven't really experienced in this country in a very long time. Okay, it's something very, 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 very different, and it's not a local corrupt police force or or a fucked up cop, and it's not a national debate. It's not a national debate. What Vance and Noam and them want you to do is have a debate about it. They win when they make us debate over whether or not she should have drove the car, whether or not that dude acted himself. No, I'm gonna say something you might not even agree with, Pete. Everybody a victim in this.
I was just going to say that. And
what I mean by that is, it don't mean
right.
That dude, that ICE agency, it's not like I'm not crying for that ICE agent.
Right.
What I'm saying is that we're dealing with soldiers going into villages now.
Yep.
We're dealing with niggas getting directives, and the person you got to look at, and I know you know this, Paul. Again, I want to stress, I'm not saying this to you. I'm just how I feel about it. We're dealing with the person you got to look at is the leader of the country. He had why would I expect him to do different? I don't. Okay. But he had every opportunity to say, man, this is a tragedy. Never want citizens to get killed. God rest this woman. The officer was acting in self-defense, but at the end of the day, we don't want Americans. He could even say some racist shit like, we don't want white women to get killed. We just have the Mexicans. That would have been horrible, but it would have been better than what he did, which was that woman is a terrorist and she tried to kill that cop. And I know it because, and not even she was going to kill him out of recklessness. She was trying to kill him because she was trained. That's a line in the sand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Per my point.
That's a line in the
But is
sand.
it
I know that's your
It's
point.
a
That's why I
lot
just want to
more,
make that clear. I know that's your point.
lot more dangerous for
Yeah.
regular citizens than for these agents. And
Absolutely.
I sit on that. And I'm cool with that.
So
People can call me a
I
hero
agree
or
with that.
anything,
I just
but
when I say they
sit on
both victims, I don't know. I agree with that. When I say they both victims, it can end up being dangerous for ICE
I
agents
agree.
because then
that's my
there's a
point.
line in the sand. But right as of yesterday, it was a lot more dangerous for the people in the street
I
than it
don't
was
think
for the
so.
agents.
I don't, and the
Well,
reason why, because I
we
think,
ain't heard about no ICE agents getting killed unless you know some info that I don't.
right. But what I'm saying is,
I'm
but
not
that's
condoning this, by the way.
right. But I'm saying, but that is what can happen. I think that both sides are, like you said, as being victims, both sides are being manipulated. And so the heat's just being turned up in these pawns.
Yes.
After a while, this may radicalize someone. This could potentially on either side, right? And so again, I'm not taking any attention away from anything. And I'm not trying to say that, I'm not trying to victim blame or anything like that. But I do think that, to your point, with there not being any leadership and there just being words being said.
Okay, I understand.
There's probably a lot of people that work for the agency that don't believe that, but because the heat is being turned
They
up,
following orders. Yeah,
it's just
I
so like
understand.
it's now it's like, okay, now we're gonna start shooting back. Not saying that's what someone's gonna do, but it's just adding fuel to the fire.
Well, it
So now it's
becomes
like,
more
okay,
dangerous to them because now they're more on edge because now they feel like they got to worry about. So I agree, and I think that the language we're using, the reason why I think Paul is very intentional about how he's trying to say something, and I am as well, and so are you, is because we don't want no misunderstandings to come out of this conversation.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That woman was the victim. That woman got murdered.
Yes.
Okay. She was murdered.
Yeah.
Okay. And this guy had another car incident. And I had his name. I'll get it in a second. He had another car incident.
I'll give him no light.
Yeah, fine. That's fair.
The
The guy had another car incident. So who knows how reckless he is or isn't. His PTSD, whatever. What I want for these conversations is to finally, I don't want these people to drag us in the mud and the minutia of debating on whether something is right or wrong.
Right.
It's wrong for them to be there with their mandate.
Yeah.
It's wrong. It's wrong. Their agency is not built to do it.
Yeah.
And they're using it because they can wear a mask, because they can operate in a way that normal cops don't, or at least we don't know if they can't. By the way, our ignorance is weaponized against us. Because who wakes up with an ICE handbook and knows all of the things ICE agents can or cannot do? You got people asking ICE agents. Go ahead, Pete. I'm sorry. I don't talk over you.
Why would a regular citizen even care about that? Because they're just a citizen.
Exactly.
They don't even until all of this stuff has been brought to our forefront as just regular citizens. I'm not thinking about anything that has to do with ICE because it doesn't affect me because I'm not going to get deported. Where am I going to get deported to? Back to America?
Well, but I think that's a big piece of it, to be honest with you, is the people that are like, oh my God, the ICE just popped up in 2025. You can't be too loud about it. If you don't know, people don't know where ICE comes from. No, people don't understand what Homeland Security is. People don't understand how things fall into line. A lot of people don't understand how the government works. And I think that sometimes what the emotion that's happening, people just start saying shit and it just starts hitting everywhere. And now people can't filter it out. Our dopamine, it's like our kidneys can't filter out all of the bullshit that's been thrown at us.
I agree. I hear you.
And I think sometimes we have to definitely emote and feel. I'm definitely not telling one not to do that. But I do think that sometimes, like how we talk about these conversations, we have to come with understanding why the form and function of these things exist, right?
We have to. Our job is to give information. But when you cause panic is panic.
Okay.
People are panicked and scared. These things are just happening. To many people, ICE did just get invented. And I would make an argument that this version of ICE is new because the mandate is new. Okay, they're not literally new. Yeah. I'm saying that ICE,
this iteration of them is new.
Me getting alerts on my neighborhood app every other second, letting people know where ICE is.
Yeah,
it's brand new. Hardening. Okay, it's a brand new thing, and so people are adjusting to that. And I was going to say even before Paul said his piece, the ignorance is being weaponized against us because it's not like there's bullying. Again, if it was in good faith, they would have flyers up on places and say, hey, ICE is going to be in your neighborhood. Here's what ICE can do. Here's what they can't do. Here's what you should ask an ICE agent when
Who should be doing that?
I said if they were operating in good faith.
Oh, okay. I was wondering.
If this mandate was in good faith, they would arm the people with as much information. No, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. If the president of the United States was operating in good faith and saying, I'm going to deploy ICE in a mass level like I had not done before, we're after one thing, but I want to protect American citizens that are legal American citizens. I'm going to arm American citizens with the information, not only so they can protect themselves, so they can help ICE agents.
Bro, we're having a conversation right now about who is and who's not American. Why would the president even?
No, you're not hearing me. You're taking me literally. No. Wait. No, because the response you're about to give me is actually kind of unnecessary. Because I said if the president,
I know, but I'm about to say I'm
in good faith.
But if you're going after a criminal situation, why would you inform the community about how you're going to go about your criminal?
They live in the community. That's what we're trying to say.
Now, we are having a conversation about what is citizenship in America. It's going to continue to be muddy for everybody. And so I don't think there is a way to protect citizens from the government standpoint and also go after their interests. I don't think that is going to be a task that the government is, even if they did care, none of this stuff will be happening in the first place, right? Because all these things were happening. So I'm saying that right now, because the situation is, it's a war zone, unnecessarily one. And a lot of people are being hurt. There's a lot of people being stripped away from their families. There's a lot of people who are legitimately an American who are fearful for not just themselves because of their last name, but also who they work with, or who they have religious events with. People are scared, especially if you have a certain last name. I remember when I was at Trinity, I had to interview during the first Trump administration. I had to interview Hispanic young girls about what it felt like to potentially be deported. I'm walking around campus talking to these young girls, and everyone's fearful. They're like, "Yo, my parents are legal, but he may be taken away, or I was born here, and he may be taking them away." And it's all this fear. And so right now, I think it's very challenging for us to have a conversation about not have a conversation about, but to speak to the government trying to protect the people when there's a conversation that the government's having about who is the people.
So I don't believe the government is trying to protect us at all. And for the audience, I hope no one misunderstood me, because I never was saying that the government is trying to protect us. In fact, I was illustrating how the government isn't protecting us, and how in a fantasy world, if they wanted to protect us, maybe they would try something different, right? They are not trying to protect us at all. In fact, I don't believe, and Paul, you can jump in after this, I don't believe that the conversation stops over who's an immigrant and who's not. I think it's going to be who's an American and who's not. And I think that's where we're getting to, right? And I think that's why it's very important to point out the flaws in the logic.
I'm speaking to that. I did to the identity piece. And maybe I should wrap that up in a bow like that. But I'm speaking to that America's having an identity crisis, not because of the people, but because there is this unnatural force that is forcing this conversation to be happening about who is and who isn't. And so that's the big point.
Government. Because it's fascists in the government, and the fascists are operating that way. And they told you they were going to do it, and now they are doing it. And the shit is getting sloppy. Because now one of their own has gotten shot, and there's uproar about it. Okay. But make no mistake, the conversation from jump is who's an American and who is not. Okay. And they're cloaking it. And I think this is why we got into our mini argument, is because they're cloaking it in a bunch of bullshit and a bunch of, minutia. I've used that word 1,000 times tonight, but a bunch of minutia about who's a citizen. Is it this person an immigrant? Is this person an immigrant? And I'm saying all of it is in bad faith. People know this, but we need to be reminded of it. People we all understand it's all in bad faith, and we're starting to see it play out. So Paul, make a jump in there, and then I wanna ask a question after that.
There's philosophy and ideology, and then there's the practicality of living somewhere, right? And I fully got your point about the identification of what a citizen and an immigrant is. Like, I fully get that. What I'm saying, and especially for and people and noted, and I will very note that I'm always my thought process is people driven and much less government driven. I'll be completely clear on that. But what I mean is, like, we can talk concepts, we can talk theology, we can talk all that. We live in the Washington D.C. area, like we live here. There may be a day where I'm just out cooling. You understand what I'm saying? And an incident like this happens, and I'm in my chair, and mind you, I'm not talking about me storming up into an agent or anything like that. What I'm saying is,
right.
We have the right, even in conversation and thought process. Maybe if we don't have the answers right now, we have the right to challenge like that thing. We have the right, like, understand at the end of the day, all these people are still public servants. The office of president is still public service. Not to say that we have complete control. Like, I understand that this stuff is sheer and utter chaos. Like, I get that. Like, I completely get that. But it doesn't mean that as a person who still lives here, that I can just go, well, that's just the way that it is. And I can't say that I feel that people should be better informed on things.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that was my natural next step to this, because sometimes it does feel like we kind of just like yelling waving our fists at the clouds and hair on fire. And, the natural reaction to that is, not saying this what you saying, Smooth or Paul. The natural reaction to that is, well, niggas should know, or niggas should this, or but people don't know what's going on, and they are weaponizing that and taking advantage of that. And in many cases, you could argue, and this is not something I know for sure, but I feel like sometimes they want the chaos and they want the response to be violent. Okay. There's a clip of a guy out there in Minneapolis burning a flag, and people don't react to him because he's got a mask on. People don't react to him because they kind of assume that he might just be an agent. Okay. So we're in a place where.
Well, you mean like an agent of chaos or agent of like
agent of
ICE?
chaos.
Oh, okay.
Agent of chaos. I don't know. I'm not going to go as far as say he's a federal agent.
Yeah, I didn't know what you meant by agent.
Maybe an agent of chaos sent there by bad actors.
Right.
To incite violence. We saw this during the Ferguson uprisings. We saw this before, right? So we're in a position where seeing ghosts is a perfectly reasonable response, and understandable response where you don't know what's real and what's not. Is this person burning the flag an agent? Is he really just one? Who knows? Because this shit is chaotic. And again, I keep going to the top because to me, that's the only focus.
I agree.
I could focus on the ICE agent and what an ICE agent did, obviously, after, because he shot a woman, right, and killed her. I could focus on that and get into that debate. I'll let his lawyers have that debate. What I'm focused on is the vice president, the president of the United States, and the director of Homeland Security immediately, quickly coming out and condemning the woman, and the vice president coming out and saying, not only am I condemning the woman, I'm letting you know straight, don't even try it with these officers because they are immune to anything. That is crazy and wild.
And that's scary shit
and very horrifying. That's what Paul's expressing. That's what you're expressing. That's what I'm expressing. That's what everyone listening to this podcast right now is expressing or feeling.
So one last point real fast, because I think it hits home to, y'all to the city. They made an argument that they wanted the Homeland Security to buy up the rest of St. Elizabeth's, the campus, because they felt that bad actors could be using that facility to harm government employees, government tactics, and that they have already have some, I don't know if the intelligence is true or not, but they have something that speaks to people looking at vulnerable spaces that are near important spaces to be able to uh, perform bad acts.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's true or not, right? But I do think that, to your point, this kind of fuels the fire, and they're trying to stretch out this thing of like what a threat is and who is the threat, and just make this whole confusion. So to your point about the agent of chaos,
Mhm.
yeah, we don't know who sent whoever there, but it's kind of
Yeah.
like, all right, we have to, be on our square, and we can't expect right now, even though we should
Mhm.
expect we can't expect, to have that leadership right now. We have to come together as a
Yeah.
community to love on each other and help us, the same way that you had people that weren't necessarily on the front lines in Ferguson, but they were back
Yeah.
there with the milk. You don't need to pour it on your eyes when they had the OC spray or when they
Yeah.
got, pepper sprayed, people like that to support. So I think
Yeah.
that we have to kind of just find our way in how we're going to support these communities that are going
Mhm.
through these like atrocious and unnecessary situations.
Absolutely. And when it comes to solutions, because I am, I'm always a believer that there's a solution. There's
Yeah.
people in the history of the world that's gone through much worse than us and got through. Okay.
Mhm.
We can get through this too. And we can
And we're
also
going
nip
to.
this in the bud before it gets to be craziness, okay? Complete insane transformation of the country. We can,
Mhm.
okay? And there's a way to do it that doesn't involve having to go out in the streets with guns and crazy shit like that.
Mm.
There's an opportunity. You have an opportunity. It's going to sound corny. You got an opportunity right now this
Oh, no.
year. This is an election year. You got
That's not
opportunity.
corny.
No, I know. I'm saying it's going to.
Oh,
I know there are people that's going to listen to the show who want to, get to this, and
right,
and
right,
I understand that, but I'm
right.
telling you, this right here I believe is pivotal because
Mm,
of who the woman was, where she was
mhm.
from, what she represents. Okay. Um, this is not an immigrant. This is not a black
Right,
person. It was a
right.
black person got shot there like 2, 3 weeks ago, and barely anybody heard about it. I
Wait,
think
who
everybody.
who was that brother that got killed? Was it Alton Sterling who's killed? Who was
Yeah, years.
mur
Yeah, yeah.
was that
That's.
Alton Sterling? Was it I'm
I
sorry, I'm
can't.
forgetting the names mixed up, but yeah,
Yeah, I get
it
his
was the
main
same
name.
same
Yeah,
city, right? That
yeah,
that
yeah.
happened. Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking a couple weeks ago, somebody got shot there and by I believe by ICE, and it
Mhm.
hasn't been a natural protest. It's the reason why this one, we can say that we're amongst family. Family listens
Yeah,
to this show. It's
yeah.
the reason why this one is got everybody really, 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 really fired up because it
Absolutely.
goes back to that old saying from the Dark Knight, P. If you blow up a truck full of soldiers, nobody blinks an eye. But
Mhm,
somebody kills one little mare and everybody goes crazy. Well, this is a
mhm.
person that was not supposed to.
Right.
Okay. God rest her,
Mhm,
not diminishing her. I'm just saying this was not part of even Trump's plan. Okay.
mm.
And it's so if it was, I don't know, but it don't
Right,
feel
right,
like
right,
it.
right, right, right. I
Okay.
agree.
It don't feel like it. So we have an opportunity. The first thing I would say, and this is just how I feel. I'm
Mhm,
not saying it's realistic. Obviously you'd have to have a plan for doing this, but I believe ICE in its current iteration needs to be abolished.
mm,
Need to abolish it. I'm not saying you don't have an immigration law enforcement. I'm not saying we don't handle
mm,
immigration. Again, President Obama threw a lot of people out.
mhm.
Okay. There is a such thing as an illegal immigrant. Okay. There-
Undocumented, y'all. Let's,
okay, fine.
undoc
Undocumented
my bad, but yeah.
person. 100%. I mean, I think we should use the proper language. I respect that. Undocumented people, there are people that need there are legal ways to deal with it, and we have been dealing with it legally, and we can ramp it up when we need to ramp it up, and we can slow it down when we need to slow it down.
Mm,
We can have those conversations like mature American adults.
mhm,
But what this agency has turned into and what is being used for needs to be abolished. That's number one. And American citizens
interesting.
should demand it. I'm not saying it's going to happen,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but you should be letting your voice be heard. Do not get stuck. Paul, I know I'm chatting like shit, bro. I'm so
You
sorry.
okay?
Do not get stuck in the mud in little arguments, to use your term, P, that major or minor. Don't debate whether or not the cop was standing in front of the car. And then
Mhm,
why were they there? What were
At the
they
end of the day.
doing there? What is the mandate? You know what it is, and that mandate is dangerous. It needs to be abolished. And then you all, anybody that's mad about this right now, you have an opportunity to get rid of a lot of these people that allow this administration to do whatever they want, that sit on their hands.
We all do.
We all do.
Yeah.
But specifically, you people in these states that matter, and with these senators and congressmen that matter, that's sitting on their hands, and I'm talking about Democrats too, that won't fight Hakeem Jeffries. If you won't fight, you need to go. The shit has gotten dangerous for all of us. I can't do nothing about Donald Trump. Donald Trump going to do what Donald Trump going to do. We can't deal with him until 2028. He going to be there. That's our fault. But the rest of us that's up for re-election in a couple of months, if you're on the blue side and you ain't fighting, I'll find somebody else. If you're on the red side and you're sitting on your hands, you need to go. And if you're on the red side and you ain't ready to at least speak out against this organization that's killing American citizens, you're useless. You're useless. That's the only point. Go ahead, P.
I don't think that in the history of time should anybody just sit and fold. And I don't even care if we're up against a terrible opposition. Because ultimately we still have to live, and importantly, and our quality of life matters, right? So even if like we clearly see, like, understand something too, and I want to make this clear. Let's not act like America in general hasn't showed us its rampant propensity to lie to citizens. It hasn't. Let's not act like we haven't seen these things, and I mean from the government all the way down. Let's not act like it doesn't have a history of these things, right? So like I said before, from philosophy to actual practicality, for me personally, we all have children here, and we have to do something to protect some element of future, because understand something. I know there's a lot of people that talk about completely moving away from this country, right? But understand something
people
also.
have done it already.
Understand also, this country is also striking all sorts of places, also causing chaos all over the place. So even that ideology has to be questioned, because of where, like, we have to do something in order to have some element of feeling safe. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree.
Like, so like whether or not, like, and in truth, it's not, it's on us to learn things. Like, it's on us to learn things, that way we know how to better navigate. But like, everything isn't on us. The government has an element of onus to it too, and we have to be continuing here to hold them up to that. Whether
I agree.
whether it be daunting or not. Like, my grandkids are here. My grandkids are Floridian, bruh. PBS is gone. You understand what I'm saying?
Yo, is that
gone? We got to correct you on that.
I saw something the other day.
But it's defunded. It's defunded.
Okay.
It's defunded. Yes.
But to your point, though, I get your point.
Their social media handle has been making it very clear that they're still around. I just had to say that.
Well,
sorry, brother.
I saw that yesterday.
Please continue your point. Please continue your point.
They've been defunded, and like, what I'm saying is, there are certain things, certain values that have been held on to, that are attempting to be abolished. I'll say that, and they're attempting to be replaced with these ideologies. Like, there are what do you call it? The Charlie Kirk's people. There are chapters and movements. There are places that are pushing for that for that to be for that to be what do you call it? Programs in school. You understand what I'm saying? So like, at this point that we're at, like, we can't just like stick our head in the sand and say, well, the government has never done that before.
Of course not. It's the time to work. It's time to do the most work now. in whatever capacity we
Boom.
can.
And that's all that I'm
Absolutely.
saying, man. Roll up our motherfucking sleeves and get to it. And I'm not talking about violence. I'm talking about whatever is necessary. That's all I'm talking
And
about.
I think all three of us do in our ways, right? With Paul, with your activism, and Adam, with you being, you know, a broadcaster and a journalist. Like, I think that we, not just this platform itself, but us as individuals, we do those things. My work with my, you know, my fraternity and
Right.
work in the community, right? So we all
Yeah.
are definitely doing our piece.
Well, I want to
And
figure out
while
more
it may
ways
not
that
be
I can be even better at it in this exact climate.
but you know, though, that I think
Yeah.
that comes with the change of how things happen, how kind of how people may be motivated to help with things. There's people who, for example, could who used to maybe write grants for either some type of government, federal, local, or whatever. They could probably be helping nonprofits, you know, with the grants and stuff, right? But they may not know how to contribute. But that may be a way to how they could contribute. And, you know, it's just those type of things that we kind of have to just find our way in how we want to make sure we are contributing to the overall betterment of this situation.
100%. I think that, you know, my final word on this is that I'm gonna go ahead and quote KG, man. You may not do politics, but politics is certainly doing you.
Oh,
Yeah.
And
unless
you
you want to say
know,
everything's possible.
you know what I mean? You got to stay alert out here, and you got to know. And you know, as much as I'm actually gonna speak on this at the end of the show, but as much as I want to enjoy 2026 and really shift my focus on things and really focus on some fun things and family,
Mhm.
and you know, and I think that's super important. And again, I'm gonna talk about
That
that a little
balance.
later, but I think it's super important to have that, especially in times like this. The world keeps reminding you of what's going on. It keeps reminding us, bro. And just this voice that we have right now, we got to speak truth to power. And if
Hmm.
we got to debate a little bit, we got to debate a
Hmm.
little bit. But what we mainly have to do is help people understand that a lot of this stuff is very different, man. It's
Hmm.
very different.
And it's very
Many of us,
scary.
and it's very scary. I'm scared, y'all. I can't lie.
Yeah.
I got children. I
I
got
mean,
children.
you've been saying
I
that,
got,
especially with all these things happening within the district at one time.
yeah,
You
but
definitely
even
expressed your fear and
yeah, I mean, I'm a
concern.
black man. I got kids. I ain't even trying to be funny. My kids look mixed, so they not, but they
Mhm.
look like you do. You
Right.
know, you never know you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I'm not even comfortable saying on the mic,
Right.
but
Right.
there's situations that are, you know what I mean, and it's scary. It's
Mhm.
scary. You know, my wife gets scared. Sometimes I have to just calm her down. Like none
Yeah.
of this shit is cool. I'm scared doing this podcast.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
see stories every day about how they about to start surveilling people that use certain words and shit like that. The fuck? Okay? So all of this, nah,
Oh,
we're better than this. And I know again, it's a black man, that's a funny thing to say about America. Okay. But we
Yeah.
are better than this.
But you know what was so interesting? I think a large part of America believes that. I think a very large mark America believes that we are better than this. And
Yeah.
I think we're hearing that, you know, of like this is not supposed to be the status quo. What we doing? What we talking about right now?
I
You know, and
mean,
it's
because we ain't even talking about sorry, brother. I'm just
no, you good.
we ain't even talking about like really racism and the
Mhm.
normal fucked up shit here. We
Yeah.
talking about
Just
our
next level.
freedom of speech. We talking about our freedom to walk city streets. We
Mhm.
talking about not living in police states.
Mhm.
We talking about being able the freedom to be able to ask an officer or federal agent, what's going on? Without getting shoved and thrown down to the ground like you were hostage.
Mhm.
Okay? We just talking about simple, basic shit. We're about to lose some really simple things that look, I ain't gonna go off the deep end. All I'm saying is it's 2026, it's a serious year. You got an opportunity. And the very last thing I'll say, you got an opportunity. And a lot of people, because the whole point of people like this is to make you feel like you have no option.
Mhm.
Take away the greatest power, the greatest lie the devil could ever tell you is that you don't got no choice, that you lost already. You might as well sit down and shut the fuck up and take it.
Hey,
You don't
Paul, what
have to. You have an opportunity to do it in the most legal way.
yeah,
Okay?
please.
So go do it. Go ahead, Smooth and P, and then we can move on.
go vote.
Because I know, Pete, I know this is like your age range, but like remember that show Get Smart?
That's
Wasn't
funny.
like it was
That's funny.
it was wasn't it
Hey, that
chaos?
show was on in the 70s, boy.
That's funny.
Right.
That's very funny. And I
Hey,
don't remember
Get
the show
Smart.
Get Smart.
Hey, remember the Patty Duke show, dog? This your age range.
I don't remember the Get
Flipper?
Smart show
Hey,
at all. At
we
all.
all see Get Smart though.
But it's
Yeah.
funny because I mean, while it was a comedy show, it kind of speaks to what we're talking about right now. And my dad brought this up to me often, but like, you know, it's very interesting that it was about chaos and control. That was what the show was
Yeah.
about, you know,
Yeah.
and keeping the balances of them
Right.
because it, you know, yeah. So it's just a very interesting thing that right now, you know, maybe we need to get smart, you know what I mean, to balance us
There you
out.
go.
Boom.
Made it work.
Boom.
All right. All right, man. That was a lot. Okay. That was a lot. And as I mentioned before, I do think as we focus on these very serious subjects that we have to have balance. And one thing this show we want to provide is balance. Not for the algorithm or anything like that, because we care about mental health. We care about our own mental health, and we care about your mental health. As much as this is a political and entertainment show, it's also a show that focuses a lot on mental health. So what we're going to do for our mental health and for your mental health is lighten things up significantly. I mean, I'm talking, we make it a total 180. We got a couple of quick hitter topics we want to get into. The first one is something we talked about amongst ourselves, and we thought it'd be fun to share with the audience. We want to talk, and we haven't done One Gotta Go in a very long time.
Right.
One Gotta Go.
Yeah.
I think before we, and obviously One Gotta Go, we got to have LT and Nargis involved. It's always the best way to have the whole squad involved in One Gotta Go. But I think before we get to this next thing, and this is off the top of my head, 2026, we should be thinking about doing a live show, like a live show. Like, you know what I mean? Like humans in the room.
Bring it back,
right?
No mask.
That's the perfect. Well, you know, that flu, man. I don't know. I might throw that mask on again.
Right.
That don't set your boy down.
Not no ice mask though.
No, fuck that mask. Nah. I think that we should definitely, if we do a live show, we should definitely play One Gotta Go with the live show. That's
damn right.
Dude, that's the
damn right.
Let's just put that out there. We'll figure it out. Let's put that out there.
Don't give him too much. You know, don't give him too much. We don't
give him too much. This is not One Gotta Go, but we are going to talk about our top 3 female-led Black sitcoms. Okay, that means, and this is a conversation we was having. Audience, let us know in the comments below if you agree with our choices and what you would pick. Okay, that means that the show. I got my 3 as well.
Yeah, let's go.
And what I mean by sitcom, I'm just talking about TV show that's kind of funny. Okay, you know, we could the rules could be loose. You can have a laugh track or not. Okay, it's got to be led by a Black woman or women. It could be an all women's cast, or it could just be the lead of the show was just a woman. All right, who wants to go first? You want to go first, Smooth?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
Girlfriends, 227.
Oh.
And I'm split between 2.
Okay.
I'm split between Golden Girls
and
Living Single.
Where was the Black woman that Golden Girls?
Yeah,
I thought it was women led. My bad. I'm bugging. Yeah, not Golden Girls. I was thinking women led. I was thinking about women led. Yeah, my bad. Yeah. So it was Living Single, 227, and Girlfriends.
Okay.
Nice, beautiful, wonderful lineup. Wonderful lineup. I mean, obviously, I would imagine that all of our first would be Girlfriends. I know that's the literal first thing that I thought. You know what I'm saying? And I'm obviously going to go Living Single, but Girlfriends, Living Single, and then I'm going to go more modern. I'm going to go Insecure.
Took mine.
Who?
Insecure.
I'm going
to
go Insecure with it. All right, so break it. Just a brief breakdown. Girlfriends, iconic. For one, for the 4 women that were in Girlfriends, like it's, you know, aside from the humor, aside from the relatable stories, they were, you know, obviously something great to look at. You understand what I'm saying? So absolutely wonderful.
And it birthed a great spinoff.
Come on.
The Game, right? Wasn't that the spinoff of The Game?
Yeah. And let's not forget that Girlfriends in of itself came as a part of Frasier. Like from the creators of Frasier.
Who was the executive producer of Girlfriends.
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Niggas told people that shit is hilarious to me, bro.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah.
hey,
It was so random one day. I'm like, what
I
the
know,
fuck?
right? Yeah.
Hey, listen, bro knew what to tap into, bro.
He definitely
Bro
did.
knew what to tap into. And then, I mean, living single is just class. You know what's
Salad
really
and
dope?
scrambled eggs.
You know what's really dope? And I don't know how much of this you guys have seen. You know that they Erica Alexander and what's the lady's name that plays Sinclair? Jesus knows. Like this is so horrible.
Yeah.
She's really great friends with my mother.
Yeah, but I know what you're about to say though.
They have a podcast.
Yeah, Kim
Cole.
Yeah,
Kim Coles. I apologize,
yeah.
Kim. Please forgive. They have a really wonderful wonderful podcast that breaks down some things in living single. And they had Queen Latifah on there talking about how the living
He's
single
supposed to
song.
do this in the next part of the segment, by the way.
Say it again.
I wasn't gonna stop him. We had an order how he's gonna do this.
My bad, bro. My bad.
It's gonna be 1, 2, 3.
You
Not 1,
already
2, back.
started now. You already started. Please, please, no. You already started. I just had to say. You was almost to say ours and then explain, but go ahead, please.
She broke down the origin story of the song and all, and even the important part, the little part that someone told her to add that added so much flavor to the story, and having Big Leds do the dance. And I'm sorry, Adam, go right ahead.
Oh, nice. No, please, no. Talk about your last one. You already started. Go ahead and talk about Insecure.
Man, Insecure. For one, Insecure is going to always have a personal connection with Adam and I, just from the fact that we were able to talk to a very young Issa Rae starting out when she had the story of insecure Black girl. You know what I'm saying? So we were able to really not see the origins of it, but we were able to really tap in with her a very long time ago. And that show was so transformative, and it spoke to us like where we are now. You understand what I'm saying? Like even it, like taking what both Girlfriends and living single and all those situations put the path into, and then taking it into a more modern, more modern, up to date feel. And it was just that's something wonderful to absolutely behold, because of its marriage between humor and Blackness and hip hop, and and telling a specific story of where she was from, and exemplifying all those things, and telling stories that can be relatable for all of our neighborhoods. So it was absolutely wonderful. Go ahead, and I'm done. And I apologize.
From YouTube.
No, you good, bro. I'm just fucking with you, man. Okay, so mine is Insecure. That's my number one. One of my favorite shows ever, frankly. For every reason Paul just said. I don't gotta break it down. We used to do weekly breakdowns of Insecure on the old run of MSR. That was a very fun time. Atlanta and all that. That was really cool. I'd like to get back to that. Find some shows to kind of like break down. I really enjoyed that. So Insecure is my number one. It is a tie between Girlfriends and Living Single for my number two. I'm gonna go ahead and go with Girlfriends though. Just because Living Single is so obvious, I'm gonna go with Girlfriends, because Girlfriends was like one of the, it was a show about like, and Living Single was this too, but it had a little bit more of like a drama aspect to it.
You got in depth with the characters.
Got in depth with the characters, and it was really tackling like really adult issues with like 20-something and 30-something year old women. Really quick trivia for y'all in regards to Living Single. Do you know what the original name of Living Single was? In fact, I think the pilot episode was called this.
Girlfriends.
No, that's funny though.
It's
called My Girls.
They talked about that on the pod.
It's called My Girls.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called My Girls. This is a little fun fact for you. Okay, so Living Single but it is definitely Girlfriends is number two, and my number three is A Different World.
Let's go.
Different World.
It was led by Lisa Bonet when it first came out.
Led by Lisa Bonet when it first came out.
He's one.
Co-led by Whitley and Dwayne.
I like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
It's a little bit of a cheat, but I'm going with it.
No.
Listen. You're right, though.
It meets the minutia details because as
it
an
meets
original,
the rules we made up on the top of our head, it matches.
Right.
Okay, right before the show.
When it
That's some Golden Girls then.
when it originated,
one black woman.
not
Let me
one.
tell you something about Golden Girls. I am an expert on Golden Girls. You want to know why? I'm telling you why I'm an expert on Golden Girls for two reasons. One, my grandmother watched it all the time. I said, but also my wife, my lovely, beautiful wife, has comfort shows she likes to fall asleep with. Right now, it's currently Frasier. That's why I don't toss salad and scrambled eggs. Okay.
Yeah.
Will and Grace and Golden Girls, bro. I can quote Golden Girls because it's been on in my sleep,
bro.
First off, it's hilarious, but I've watched so many episodes of Golden Girls that I would never watch in my adult life because of my wife. So anyway, real quick, A Different World, because A Different World, obviously, what it did for HBCUs and just black people, and for me, who did not go to a HBCU and any of that, so I can't claim that like influence. But what I can look at is like those were some of the coolest people. They had something that the Cosby Show didn't have, and that Martin and Living Single and all them eventually got, you know, in the future. Just cool, young, black people. The girls were cool as hell in very different ways. Whitley was to focus on the women. Whitley was obviously like the Jack and Jill, you know, the AKA, you know what I mean? But then you have Freddie, who was like the kind of like hippie. You had Jaleesa, who was the older one. You had Kim, who was just like they all were cool and beautiful and stylish in their own way.
And they all had the spectrum of brown.
Yes, they represented every type of black woman you can imagine. And another fun fact, and I'm sure many people in this audience know, the show is about to come back. It's going to be a reboot of A Different World. There's a reboot of A Different World, not a reboot. I should call it a retelling of a different. No, it wouldn't be a retelling. A continuation of A Different World,
an extension
about Whitley
or something
about their kids.
Oh my God.
I mean,
you gonna watch it? Shut up.
If this is a She Gotta Have It, or if this is a She Gotta Have It, or what was the other one?
Well, She Gotta Have It was a reboot.
I know, that's what I'm saying. But like it was. Well, I'll leave that alone. But yeah,
give it a shot.
Yeah, man,
Debbie Allen's back involved.
Let these kids see something different, man.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, we were surprised by Bel Air, so.
Yeah.
I'll give it that.
Yeah, I fell off Bel Air real quick though, but I will say last episode with Will Smith showing up. Yeah, I got the stick with Bel Air wore off like episode 7 for me.
But for me, that's my fear with bringing back like classic shows. Is like it's kind of like also Come to America. Like when Come to America 2 was like, oh, we're so excited, we're gonna see Eddie. We haven't seen Eddie so long. It's like, what?
Yeah, you know what some of these things you're absolutely right. You can't replicate. The moment is the moment.
Yeah,
I do agree that Different World was super important, super necessary, and super different for the moment it came out. Same way School Days hit at a certain point, because it's like people seeing the HBCU experience for the first time on television. Even if you went to one, you probably were like, wow, that's like what school was like for me. That's been done quite a few times since, and we've all seen reruns of Different World 1,000 times. We broke it down. I agree with you, but I'm gonna watch it just because.
But you know what's so interesting though, with all of our picks, they touch almost every generation, right? So even about like, you know, with 227, like, you know, that's the class up into Insecure.
Marley Gibb.
Yeah,
like you definitely
Marley Gibb. Who young Regina?
Yes.
And fun fact, do you know where that show was based?
Washington, D.C., baby.
In D.C.?
In D.C., baby.
You knew that, right?
I feel like I was smoked on trivia. I did.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah. I feel like I was smoked on trivia.
I'm sure you did.
You know, you killed me. You got the answers.
I'm sure
you didn't know my girls though. What? You didn't know my girls though. You didn't know that one. I stumped all y'all with that one.
I said girlfriends, but you were. I was close.
I wasn't called girlfriends.
I heard it. I heard him talk about it on the podcast.
And that's, you know.
Look. I watched the podcast.
I did. I just forgot.
I just forgot.
Real quick before we go, 2 quick hitters. I know, Paul, you wanted to mention the DC Go-Go Awards, man. Tell us about that.
we just had on the 6th of January, we just had the 2026 iteration of the Go-Go Awards, in which they were celebrating 50 years of Washington, D.C.'s official music, which is go-go, right? And I just wanted to give it just a little bit of shine and say what's it was hosted by our good man Joe Claire. You know what I'm saying? Handling
He's
business.
everywhere.
Both Curtis Blow and Dougie Fresh were there as presenters and as Dougie has been immersed in go-go culture since way back in the day when Salt and Pepper were using certain both sounds and bands and things when they would come here to perform. You understand what I'm saying? So they've been in along the scene for years. But I'm just happy and I just want to give a shout out to our city, to our official music of our city, and just the fact that how well go-go is being received across the nation and honestly in other countries. The Beach Your Feet group goes and performs nationwide. I mean all through like everywhere. They're in, you know what I'm saying? So like to see this part of culture that was so niche to us. Now mind you, I never wanted to leave us and how special it is to us. But it's really great to see it appreciated by so many other people. I remember when it's, man, I don't even understand what they're doing. I don't understand that jungle music, and I don't understand it's the same beat.
Jungle music.
These things were said, bro. Like these things were said. I don't understand it. All they do is take other people's songs and all that. So to watch it be celebrated, you understand, go-go is as old as hip hop.
Yeah,
like,
you said 50,
yeah, 50 years. So I just wanted to give a big shout out to our city, you know what I'm saying, and to all the musicians. Special shout out to New Impressions because my man Marcus plays drums for them. So big shout outs to them on the Go-Go Award they received. Big shout outs to Mumbo Sauce, Alfred. You already know what time it is. Black Boob doing y'all thing. And everybody that was involved, man. It's just a good nod, like, and understand with all the chaos going on in the city, I know it was refreshing for everybody to get out and simplistically celebrate something and shine a light on the wonderful, great things that come out of the city of Washington, D.C. And there are so many. So don't let this administration and don't let these people fool you into thinking that all this place is a desolate place. There's so much creativity that comes out of here. There's a complete music culture that was created here and is now reaching the rest of the world. So shout out to that.
Yeah.
That's revolutionary music.
Yes, sir.
It is, man.
Revolutionary music.
Yeah, that's all you can say about go-go, man. I mean, Paul said it best, man. One last thing before we go. Quick little message / story time. I'm gonna make it extremely brief, I promise you. I unfollowed a popular podcast with a podcaster in the nerd space that I really like. Let me tell you why I did this. Because they was shitting on Avengers Doomsday. Why? Why would I care about it? Why would I unfollow somebody? Because they were shitting on Avengers Doomsday, a movie that doesn't even come out. Nah, let me tell you, let me ride with me. A movie that doesn't even come out until December 18th. And they were shitting on it because of teasers. Because they were shitting on it because of teasers. Let me explain what I'm saying. There has been rage bait culture, and I'm seeing it slip into a lot of the things I watch because the algorithm supports it and celebrates it. In 2026, rage bait culture is one of the worst things and one of the most dangerous things that we can deal with. Yeah. We just did a whole segment about the horrors of the country right now. We need Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
We need Supergirl. We need Superman. We need the Odyssey. We need
Superman's Superman's in Doomsday?
Nigga, be quiet, man.
No, I'm saying that's what I'm saying.
No, I said I'm naming movies. God damn it, I'm trying to have a moment here.
My bad, sorry. I'm like, wait, am I missing something?
Hey, yo, the nigga, damn.
I'm sorry, yo.
I'm on the flow. Listen.
You right, my bad.
We need these pop culture movies that are popcorn movies. We need these pop culture moments. We need the music that's coming out this year. And we don't need a bunch of people overly critiquing things for algorithm. We don't need the negativity. We have a bunch of it. We don't need people yucking people's yums for the sake of it, whether it's because you follow an algorithm or because you're in a bad place and you can't see the joy and you can't understand why people are just happy to see Cyclops use his optic blast in a teaser before Avatar. It sounds silly, and it is, but that's the point. To balance all of the crazy that we're going to be dealing with in 2026, and it's going to get worse because it's an election year. It's about to get really bad. We might have another government shutdown at the end of the month. It's possible. We just came off one of the worst ones in history. You're going to need to go to the movies. I encourage you. Go to the movies.
Yeah.
Go to the park. Go to the basketball game. Watch NBC basketball coverage instead of chucking them. Watch somebody who's going to celebrate the game and just have fun with it. Okay? Take the negativity out of your life, even if it means unsubscribing and blocking a podcast that's hosted by somebody that you actually rock with. Okay?
Okay. I'm following.
Protect your mental health. Protect your mental health. Take care of yourself. I mean this. It's super important. Smooth, yes, brother. What do you want? What do you want, bro?
Nigga,
what questions do you have?
You all right, you gotta let me know you're gonna have these runs and shit. You know what I mean? If you want to get on your Jodeci.
I said I got something to say. I said
I didn't know we couldn't tap in though, right?
No, I didn't say you can't tap in, but like
I'm going throwing like Mortal Kombat's coming out this year. I'm excited about.
Yes, no, so no, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter.
Oh my god.
Man, it's a lot of dope. This gonna be quietly a great year for movies. I ain't even getting to the TV show. The Green Lantern TV show coming out. If you a nerd like me, there's 2 Game of Thrones shows coming out this year. Okay. Euphoria's coming back. Larry David's got a new sketch show coming out. It's a lot of cool stuff. A Different World reboot, I think, comes out this year. There's a lot of cool. Alex Cross season 2. There's so much. There's so much to just to help you read a book. I'm sure there's a bunch of beautiful books coming out. Whatever you got to do. For me, it's movies and pop culture. Whatever you got to do, and I mean this. I'm very serious about this. Whatever you got to do to help give yourself that balance, and to keep your mental health going.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone knock you about this year.
Wow.
Don't let them do it.
While we fight this fight, we're still going to be, obviously we're not going to be dumb or numb to anything. But like you just said, protect yourself. And man, welcome to DC Trae Young.
Welcome to DC Trae Young. I hope you play this year, bro. I want to, and for my DC folks, this will definitely come out before that. On January 29th, they're retiring John Wall's number.
Let's go. And
Paul, I think that's a nice little birthday celebration, bro.
You know we there.
I think that's a nice little BD celebration. Let's do it.
We there.
All right.
How many seasons was he there?
Oh, I don't know off the top of my head.
The reason I was going to wonder was Gilbert Arenas was his
no, Wall was there longer than Gilbert.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Wall is
they probably will retire. Yeah.
Gilbert, that was an iconic
at least 7 to 8 years. At least.
Yeah, maybe even 10 for real. He left in like 2020.
Yeah.
Came in like 2000.
And I'm definitely going to that game, even. Adam, because I was at his draft day. I was literally there the day he got drafted. And ask some questions and all that. So you darn right we can do that 5 day, bro.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all rocking with us on this one. Hope you all like the 2-show format. Please stay up on what's going on with all of this. This is a fluid situation. New things have probably happened since we've had this conversation. We'll try our best to keep you all updated on what's going on via our social media and in shows and upcoming shows, because this is obviously a big deal. So just get educated. Understand what's going on. Arm yourself with information. Arm yourself. One thing my brother was saying, he said a couple of things that made sense, but one of the things you said that did make sense is that don't expect the government to arm you with the information, and I agree with that. They're not going to do it, so arm yourself with the information. So if you're walking down the street and you happen to get hemmed up, you know your rights. You know, this is something black people have been doing for a long time. If you're not black and you listen to the show, welcome. Welcome.
Yeah.
We've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah.
If you want to know, we can tell you. Just know your rights. All right. Listen, man. Follow us. Shouts out to everybody that follows us on social media. MSR Tribe on Instagram, Mainstream Radio on Facebook, the MSR Pod on TikTok. All right. If you're listening to the show on podcast platforms, and we want to get those podcast numbers up, because a lot of y'all, we've been really focused on YouTube, and a lot of y'all don't really know, to no fault of your own, that we are on every podcast platform. I know a lot of y'all, especially people in our age group, like to just listen. We definitely welcome you to just listen to the show. We're on every podcast platform. Spread the word about that. And if you listen, remember to rate and review the show. But if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We're on the road to 500. Facts. Share it. Do all that. Tell people. Talk about the show, man. We really appreciate y'all.
Leave comments too. Talk to us.
Yes, do all of that. All right, we're on the road to 500 subscribers. We're almost there.
Let's go.
And then from there, we're gonna get to 1,000, and we're gonna get to 10,000, and we're gonna keep going. All right, we can't do it without y'all. All right, we're gonna get there. We promise you, we're gonna get there. All right, thank you so much.
Yo, who's that politician?
Huh?
The politician was like, never going to Ohio.
Oh, yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah. Damn, that's a shame. Yeah. Anyway.
I thought that's what you was going to do, man. That's funny.
Appreciate you, brother.
Yes, sir. I love you, man. I love both of y'all so much, y'all.
Love you too, man. We argue, but we love each other.
Yeah, it's all in love. Always.
That's what
I cut the mic off for a minute. The people y'all know we got to a real good one, but we back now. We good.
Yeah,
good.
Yeah.
Good.
You know what I mean? Little brother, big brother shit.
We always good.
Nigga sent me a text, Paul. Nigga sent me a text, said I had to turn you up real quick.
Hey, it be like that. It be like that.
Right. Let's go.
Like
That's a babble, dog.
It ain't nothing but love. It ain't nothing but love.
Nigga trolling me. Anyway.
All
right, Paul. You know what it is, brother.
Yes, sir.
We back on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
We don't know who's gonna be on the show, but you'll find out.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll let y'all know.
All right. We'll let y'all know. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Adam Butler. That's Paul Spann.
Paul Spann in the building.
Free DC.
Always.
Be great.
Elevate us.
We're up out of here.
Yeah.